What encouragement could you pass on to child welfare professionals?
I always share, anytime I get an opportunity to speak with maybe those in authority or CPS staff, CASA, whoever it might be, judges and attorneys, as we're sometimes asked to do, I always try to remind them that when you maybe see us on film or watch this film or see guys like myself, don't look at me as an exception to the rule. I think many of us, we have a passion for loving our children. If we're given the opportunity, the support, being held accountable, letting us know this is what we expect of you, many of us can be good fathers and raise our children. So I mean, just because I happen to get clean, I don't want to be viewed as, the exception to the rule. Most other stories don't turn out that way. I think if given the same opportunity, a lot of stories can turn out like mine did, with a happy ending.
How did you become involved with the child welfare system?
My experience with the child welfare system was my wife and I had substance abuse issues. After being clean, for maybe 4 years in another state, suffered a relapse and got to a place where, relocated here to Texas, and because my wife and I couldn't maintain housing, we started staying from hotel to hotel, and eventually, a report was made that we had our daughter staying in the hotel with us, and CPS approached us while we were standing at a bus stop and removed our daughter, and she was 4 years old at the time.
What plan of service was provided by the child welfare system?
Well, we were both issued a service plan and completed our parenting courses, classes together. One of the things that kind of confused me and disturbed me was that she was offered outpatient treatment and I wasn't, for the substance abuse, and we both had the same issue. But I felt that my daughter would have had a better chance. Fortunately, hindsight is 20/20. It worked out well. We both got clean and remained clean and very active in our recovery, very committed to sharing recovery with others and helping parents that are going through this process. But at that time, I feel that the state took a risk. They should have offered it to both of us because what if she hadn't made it? You know what I mean? What if she wasn't sincere about getting clean at that time? Again, I'm glad it worked out, but we didn't know.
What did this communicate to you at the time?
It communicated to me as a father that I was a second option and maybe even a last resort. I don't think I was given an equal platform, or it was just a given that she was trying to get this child back with the mom, even though I was going through the whole process, court dates, visitation and everything, just like the mother was. You didn't see her without seeing me. So, I don't understand why that preference was given to her.
What were your first thoughts and feelings when your daughter was removed?
Initially, my first feeling I experienced was absolute fear. That's terrifying. Even in the midst of my addiction, it's a very sobering moment to realize that your child has been removed. And again, hindsight being 20/20. Today, I'm grateful for the experience because it's definitely helped me a whole lot and put me in a position to be able to help some other people. But at that time, I was terrified. I'm thinking that my daughter's going to be placed with strangers, and more scared or afraid of the fear that she would experience. You know what I mean? And knowing that I needed to buckle down and get clean again, but not really sure about how I was going to do it, being a homeless person at that time. So it was very challenging.
Did any of the services target fathers?
I know there are now. At the time that I was going through the process, I wasn't aware of any type of help that I could have received. And I would imagine a lot of fathers, if they're going through a similar situation, I don't know that we just know that type of stuff is out there until you need it. I mean, you don't even think about that type of stuff or wish that it was there until you need it. And it never occurred to me. It wasn't suggested to me. I didn't know that there was that type of help for dads trying to regain custody.
What was your primary motivation to work through and complete your service plan?
I didn't want to let my baby girl down, and having been clean, for 4 years between '97 and 2001, and having some recovery and getting away from it, I knew that I could do it. I knew that I could be a good dad, you know what I mean? And I wanted that again, but ultimately the underlying motivation was I could not let that little girl down, my little girl down.
Was there any other issue that would have brought you to sobriety?
Probably so, but a situation like that really goes for the juggler. That's one good way to get your attention. There are some other situations that probably could have gotten me clean, but that situation definitely got my attention.
How was the case resolved?
It took almost 2 years, but we were finally awarded custody. And we had to go through that process. And in all fairness, I need to say that when she was first removed, we didn't get clean right away. So there was a lot of times where there was some struggles going on. We were making these visitations, and I wasn't clean yet, doing the best I can to get to these visits. Again, I think the process probably could have been a little bit shorter if I was offered some treatment. I had to do it on my own. When I finally did get clean, I was clean for like 45 days, still homeless. You know what I mean? So, juggling all of these things, trying to get a job, trying to get housing, and do the things to complete the service plan, it was kind of challenging.
Who helped encourage you through the process?
Our attorney, she was very helpful. She not only encouraged us, she was the person that we reached out to, because she reached out to us. He said, hey, the ball is in your court. I'm going to help you guys. If you're serious about this, I'm with you. That was at a time when I wasn't real sure that we could pull that off. We could accomplish that, I should say. And she encouraged us. She gave us legal direction, and we got clean and did what we needed to do to have our daughter come home. Yeah. And I need to say, when I say come home, I'm talking about coming home to a dual household. Or two different households, I should say, because her mom and I, we have a home in Arlington now, and a happy family, raising our children. At that time, we both lived in the same complex and both had 2-bedroom apartments in one complex. You know what I mean? And my daughter would run back and forth when she first came home, because that's what we needed to do for our recovery. Keep the focus on our recovery and things like that.
What were some of the defining moments for you, good and bad?
Bad, definitely that initial encounter with CPS. Today I'm grateful for the intrusion, but at that time I was like stunned. If anyone has a history with anyone who has had substance abuse problems, you always tell yourself, I'm going to get myself together. But it was staring me straight in the face, and I was like, now I have to really get my life together again. And I say one of the good moments was when we first began I'll mention a couple of good moments. One was the encouragement that we received from our attorney. She was a very special lady, and we really appreciated her until this day. Another one was when we first got our, what do they call it, the weekend visitation. Kind of let me know that, okay, she's close to coming home. Yeah, that weekend visitation. Yeah.
So how has your life changed?
At the time when my daughter was taken, my wife and I were actually engaged. And met my wife back in 1996, and daughter was born in '98, and we were engaged, and we didn't finally get married until 2008. So it's been wonderful. I just thank God every day because it turned out the way it did. And that's because we first and foremost stayed committed to getting our daughter home, and we knew in order to do that we needed to be serious about our 12-step recovery, and being active in our church. There's been a lot of people that have supported us spiritually over the years to give us the courage to continue doing this. Yeah. And another thing that's very rewarding, helping other parents that are going through the same deal and that are terrified that they may lose their child forever, so it motivates us. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.